Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to go over a video on, well, I know you guys have seen that we have been putting together No Mercy mods for the game WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64, and we've been turning it into 2K16. Honestly, I've figured out quite a bit in just my month and a half of doing this, and the reason for this video is now I'm going to show you how to put music to your modifications without cheating by using a cam program to where it's actually in the game. Everybody said it was possible. I've read up on a few tutorials, went through a bunch of stuff trying to find out what it was like, and I figured it out. And it's pretty sad that here I am, I've only been doing this for a month and a half, and I've already figured this out, and some of you guys who do this shit and have been doing it for a while still ain't figured this out. Well, anyway, you can thank me later, and if you don't thank me, well, fuck you, because obviously with me being able to do this shit in a month and a half, you obviously have not been dedicating yourself into doing this shit correctly, and you needed my fucking help. So anyway, bottom line is, this is how you mod the music in WWF No Mercy 2K16. Okay, you need this program right here. This is the Hacker Starters tool. I'm going to actually put this in the threads down below to where you guys can get over here and show how to do it. But this shows you everything right here. You know, you got all your files right here to hack the game. This is it. Now check it out. This is the one that you want. It's the No Mercy thing right there. And you see that roster tool right there. You need that. That is definitely. This is exactly why this thing works. That music folder is very important, and that settings folder is very important. I'm going to show you why. Everything here is very important. Now look, if you read this right here, this is your offset instructions. Okay? Now you read these instructions right here, and it tells you exactly how to do it. Now this is how you do it. You know, I go ahead and I leave it up there. You need this cheat engine right here. You have to have this cheat engine, okay? And that's also in the thread in the posting that I've put on the video. Now, this number right here is the one that you need. This is the one that you take, that you use, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing with that here in a second. So let's just go ahead and get this started up. First thing you're going to need to do is boot up your Project 64. Okay, and that music folder right there, I'm going to show you exactly what to do with that here in a minute. So anyway, you take this Project 64, and I'm sorry it took so long for this thing to boot up. My computer is slow. I am running Windows Vista. So you got to understand that my capabilities, even though I'm able to do this, my capabilities are very limited because my technology is very limited. So anyway, while we're over here waiting for Project 64 to boot up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to boot up your Project 64 and boot up your mod. Okay? Now, yeah, by the way, that was the site right there that you will be going to look at the tutorials and things like that. If it doesn't look like that, then you're on the wrong site. But the bottom line is that you're going to want to load up your game. And once you go ahead and load up your game, you're going to want to put it on the title screen. Now, once we go ahead and get to that title screen part, I will tell you exactly what we've got to do. But the basic idea is, okay, there we go. Project 64 is loading right up. Okay, now go ahead and set up your cheats, set up however you want to go ahead and set up your No Mercy, however you're going to do that. But go ahead and boot up the game. Once you go ahead and start booting up the game, you know, it's going to do your texture mod screen and things like that, telling you, okay, this is what's up, this is what we're doing, this is what it's loading. So we're loading it all up and blah 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 and da da da. Here it goes. You know, the major thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you set your offset correctly, and that's exactly what we're going into right now. This is where everybody messes up at, is because they don't set their offset, or they wonder why that this thing happens, and 1 minute they've got it working and the next minute it's telling you it's loading the roster and it never loads anything. So I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. What it is that you're going to have to set the offset, and this is how you do that. So once this thing loads up, I will go ahead and tell you more about that. Alright, now that we got Project 64 loaded up, go ahead and go into the first title screen here. Okay? Once you've got this set up, this is where we go ahead and we select this cheat engine. Alright? So we go ahead and select this cheat engine, and when it decides to pop up, then there's a button that we have to push, and we have to go find it, the program that we're trying to do. Now, okay, this is the cheat engine. This is what it looks like. This is also in one of the websites that I sent you on how to get it. And if you read the tutorial, that's what's up. Now look, this is your hacking starters kit. You're going to need this as well. So go ahead and boot that up, and boot up your NM thing, your roster tool. So you want to go ahead and put up your roster tool here. You want to run this as administrator, okay? So how you're going to do this is you always want to run as administrator when you run this program. Okay? You go ahead and select it. Alright, bam, there it is. It's done popped up. Now watch what it says right here. As you can see, the music's not modded. Now, okay, look. It says it right there. It's loading the roster. Okay? It's loading the roster. Well, this will never change. This is going to be like this. So what happened is that your offset is off. That's basically what's gone on. So you're like, okay, so how do I get this to work? Well, we're going to move this on down here. We're going to minimize this. Move this over. We're going to move this over here up on top. We're going to select this button. All right. First things first, though, we need to boot up the music folder. So we're going to come over here, and we're actually going to boot up the directions here right quick on how to do it. Now, you read through all this, and it tells you basically that this is what you got to do to get it done. Alright? Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take this cheat engine, you take this button, you select this button here, and then you select Project 64. Alright? So you go down this list until you find your Project 64 exe file. Alright? There it is right there. Okay? Now you're going to go over here, and you're going to hit that hex button. Alright? And you're going to change that 4-bit to 2-bit. Okay? Now once that happens, you go over here and you select on your Project 64, you move it down to ladder match. You got to have it on ladder match, alright? Now you notice this over here, it's still got those, it's got too many zeros, so we had to redo the hex button. And now you're going to remove that last 0, and you're going to put a 5. Okay? You're going to put a 5, and then you're going to hit first scan. It comes up, here comes all these numbers right here, okay? Now we're getting closer. So now you go ahead and you move your Project 64 up to Royal Rumble, and then you go back over here and you change that 5 to a 1. Okay? Now you've done changed it to a 1, hit next scan. Next scan, okay? Alright, now we're down to 3 numbers. So we go back over here to Project 64, we repeat the process. Okay? We go back down here, we go to ladder match. We go back over to the cheat engine, select that to 5. Make that a 5. And then hit next scan. Okay? Now we've got 1 number. This is your number. Alright? This number right here, write it down, or do exactly what I did. I just kept it up on top. So now we go in and we go to the calculator. Windows calculator will work. You just got to make it scientific. Make sure you hit that hex button. If you don't hit that hex button, it will not work. Okay? Now, type in that number that's on the offset instructions. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to boot that up right now. There it is. And there's that number. So we're going to take that number and we're going to put it in the calculator. Alright? Now it took me a minute to find the calculator, but as soon as I found the calculator, there it was. We typed that in. Numbers, letters, and all, guys. Okay? This is a hexa calculator. You got to, you know, this is what you use for for computer programming and stuff. So we type in that number, all right, and then you minus it from the number that you got on your cheat engine. If that makes any sense, all right, you minus it from that number there. Exactly. So we go ahead and we type that in. Equals, and that's our number right there. Now everybody's number is going to be a little different, but that just happened to be my number. Okay, so now we go ahead and we get out of this. We go ahead and just kill that because we don't need that anymore. Alright, we go back into your settings under the NM thing folder. right there where your roster tool was, you go into settings, okay? Now here, right here, you change that number to the number that you just got from your hexa calculator, okay? You change that number. Make sure you don't change the 0x, just change the numbers after that, okay? Input your number, leave the 0x. See how I left the 0x? Okay? Blip that out, and then go ahead and type in your number. Once you go ahead and type in this number, you're going to want to save it. Okay? Make sure you save, because if you don't save, it will not work. So save. Alright? Alright, we've got all that done figured out. Now you blip out that thing right there again, and then you're going to boot it up once more. So go ahead and get rid of your calculator. You don't need your calculator anymore. You know? And we're going to go over here, and we're going to go back into that folder with the hacker starting kit. Okay? And we're going to go and boot up that roster tool again. So go under anything, roster tool. You want to run it as administrator. Remember, run it as administrator, or else it will not work. Okay? So once you get that running as administrator, go ahead and X that out. You're going to see that this thing becomes unresponsive. Now you know it's starting to work when it becomes unresponsive like that. And bam, look at there, offset correct. Now everything's good to go. Go ahead and select that bottom box for the music mod. Alright? Now see, where your music comes from is in that music folder. Okay? Now all my music has already been modified. I don't have to change any of it, but I'm going to show you that you can. So this is how we're going to go ahead and do it. Alright? We're going to change the title screen song, which I actually happen to use SmackDown's song, and we're going to change it to Monday Night Raw's. So hit enable the music, and once you enable the music, you see that little code that popped up down there? That little code right there represents the song. Okay? Now you hear that? Okay, now watch. That's what I put on the title screen. That happens to be OXE. So you go find it in that music folder. You go find OXE. Okay? There it is right there. Delete it. Alright? If you didn't want that there, you just go ahead and delete that out. Then you go over there and you can use any MP3 basically, okay? Any MP3. Some of them work, some of them don't. As a matter of fact, in this video, you will see one that doesn't work. If it's copywritten, it will not work. So, basically, try to go with third party, somebody who done recorded the song or something like that at a decent maximum volume. Try to go with that, okay? So anyway, I select Dolph Ziggler's at first, and it does not work. And that's because it's a copywritten song, and from who I got it from happened to be CFO themselves. So that basically, that tells you right there that, you know, that they're on top of their copyright game. You know what I mean? Copy it. Alright? And you go over here and you paste it in that box, and then you rename it. I'm sorry for the long stretchy video. My computer was very slow operating. But we type in that code, OXE. Alright, that's for the title screen, guys. That's for the title screen menu. So that menu right there, it changes that music. Okay? Okay, see, as you can tell, it didn't work. So now I'm going to change that to Monday Night Raw because Dolph Ziggler's song did not work. And like I said, I had to go and download a bunch of these songs and find out which ones worked and which ones didn't. Now, do you see how his face came up on there? That just shows it was copywritten. Okay, so we're going to just copy the Raw song from in there and post it on that code right there. Take it, put it on, rename it, and you rename it to what the NM tool is saying that song is, and that code will be right there on the bottom. Alright? And how you change people's music is you have to go into the WWE SmackDown Mall, get up underneath their name, go to change their music, and you will listen to all their music. And as you're listening to all their music, it will bring up that code on the bottom. That code is very important because that's how you replace the music. I'm showing you how to do that right now. Go in here. See, as you can tell, I added title screen musics to my mod. Just go in here and see, like, I've got Seth Rollins music listed under Taka. Okay? Taka's song number is OX36. See what I mean? OX36. That's how you would change Taka's. So every time you select somebody's music, that number will come up, and that's how you replace it. You put it in that music folder. You put your music in that music folder, rename it to the number that is listed for that song under the No Mercy tool. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you guys get it. This is about the best tutorial I could find to do it, buddy. You know what I mean? Because I ain't seen a good one yet. Peace.